In this video, we're going to talk about how to overcome the fear of starting your own staffing agency and how you can do it, how you can start your own staffing agency without doing all yourself, even if you have a shoestring budget. So let's dive in. I'm Diane Prince. I've been building staffing agencies for about 28 years, and I've sold a staffing agency for $28 million. I've also sold another staffing agency to the former chairman of Adecco, the biggest staffing agency in the world at that time. So here we're going to talk about in this video, and don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel if you are a staffing agency owner, a recruiter, or any small business owner looking to grow. I share tips and strategies on how to grow your service business. So let's talk about, in this video, we're going to talk about why delegation is important for staffing agencies, how to start a staffing agency, even if you're fearful, even if you're doing direct hire and you know you want to add staffing so you can have that juicy recurring revenue and you can build value for your business so that eventually, if you want to, you'll be able to exit. We're going to talk about delegation tips and virtual assistant support for staffing agencies. Why is delegation so hard for new staffing agency owners? We're also going to answer the question, how do I start my agency without trying to do everything myself? What can I give to a virtual assistant before I have a full team? So let's dive in. I want to share with you, I currently run a staffing agency providing virtual assistants. I have done staffing for title insurance, banking, and escrow. I have also done tech staffing. Now I have a staffing agency that specializes in placing offshore teams with staffing agencies. So I'm sharing from experience in my company now, my business. This is what I do. I do videos, I do content, I talk to high-level clients, and my team does the rest. I have an entire offshore team for a fraction of the price of just hiring somebody, one person. Okay? Yes, it's ridiculous and it's amazing. All right. So are you thinking about starting your own staffing agency or adding staffing to your existing business? But maybe you're scared that you're not going to have the bandwidth. You don't really know. It's complicated. You might think it's complicated. Well, we're going to simplify the process too. And by the way, as an addition to your virtual assistant, you're going to need an employer of record. And I can set you up with that. Employers of record will do all of your payroll and all of your billing. And that's just baked into the cost that's just added to your burden of your staffing. So also let us know if you need to be introduced to the best EOR, who is really, really good. Okay. And if you need to know more about EORs, let us know. I got a message from somebody saying, I go to work every day with no fear, but jumping out on my own feels terrifying. Early delegation, even if you don't think you can afford it, removes overwhelm and gives you a clear runway to start strong. There's a false belief that even if I'm going to be successful, I have to do it all myself. Sometimes another myth is direct hire is so much easier than staffing. So I'm going to start with direct hire. But over-identifying with hustle culture leads to burnout before you even hit your big client win, your first big client win. Not knowing what to focus on creates panic loops. A recruiter with years of experience who I've just talked to stalled launching their staffing agency, their staffing part of their recruiting firm, because they were overwhelmed and they didn't have plans for support. But once people get the support, it's going to blow your mind how you can have that juicy recurring revenue and get help at such a lower cost. And by the way, subscribe to my YouTube channel so that you can get more tips on building your agency. Okay, so here's why delegation is important, even on day one, even if you don't think you can afford it. Delegation is a mindset shift. It's not just something once you can afford a full team. Okay, you can start small and work your way up. Delegation protects your zone of genius. You work on the things that you're best at. It might be client acquisition, it might be recruiting, whatever is best, where you're best suited for, you do that and stay in your zone of genius. And this is not just so that you can relax or play pickleball, which I do a lot of, but it's also so that you can grow, so that you can actually get more business and get more sales and have an ROI well beyond what your cost is for a virtual assistant, which is about, I got some hair in my mouth, which is about the same as one placement. Okay. And it's like not an expensive placement for an entire year. Yeah. An entire year for less than one placement. Okay. So virtual assistants also create space for strategic thinking and revenue driving activities. I spend Mondays, Tuesdays, and Fridays working on my business. I get clarity. I do make videos on Mondays. I get clarity though while my virtual assistants are doing the busy work so that I can really think and focus on my vision and building my business accordingly. Here are things you can delegate before you hire a full team. These are things that I did and it worked out really well. So there's the admin stuff, calendaring, inbox, contracts, prepping contracts, all that stuff. I don't like doing that stuff. So I have somebody do that for me. It makes it so much easier and it makes it easier to close clients. Okay. Recruiting support, candidate sourcing, resume formatting, interview scheduling. And by the way, we do have a killer sourcing team. Sales support, LinkedIn outreach, or wherever your clients are at. It might be Facebook, it might be somewhere else, it might be a Slack channel, it might be Discord. We got to find out where your clients are talking so that we can do outreach and build community around our businesses, or you build a community around your business in that forum. Okay. They can also work on ATS updates, proposal formatting, marketing, content repurposing. Since we started doing this, I have all sorts of shorts. I mean, my content is skyrocketing and I get incoming leads every single day. So not only can a virtual assistant team, and we have a team, or you could use anybody, but if you're interested in a team, then click on the link in the comments. A team clients buy back at least 10 hours of work, at least through VA delegation before hiring any full-time staff. You know, what happens when you try to do it all? You probably already know this, but leads go cold because follow-ups slip through the cracks. Oh my gosh, I used to go through my inbox and I was mortified because I'd realized I had a lead come in 18 days ago that I haven't even touched. Just that one lead alone, closing one missed lead can make up for an entire year of an offshore team. That's crazy. It's crazy not to take advantage of the global talent that we have at our fingertips. Okay. And if you try to do it all, your clients experience drop balls. You stop building your pipeline. You become the bottleneck in your own growth. And one client he actually owns a law firm, and he was afraid to delegate. He was terrified to delegate, even though he had a paralegal working for him. He was just scared. And also he was afraid because his paralegal was young, and now I finally convinced him to delegate. And first of all, to delegate, he started small by delegating to his paralegal instead of feeling guilty for giving him too much work. Okay, that 2x their business. Then he started using a team. We started doing his billing for him. And then he also hired a paralegal in the Philippines, another paralegal. He has now 10x'd his business. It's crazy. So don't see this as an expense. It is really an investment in growing your business. You don't have to do it all yourself. Let us know if you need help, if you want to just talk to us about, there's no obligation whatsoever. Just talk to us about building your team. Click on the link, subscribe. I'm Diane Prince. Follow me on LinkedIn, and I hope to get to help you to build your agency.